Hello and welcome to Minigame Monday. This is Monday, October 20th, 2025, and today is going to be a word search puzzle made up of titles that were play tested at Protospiel Online May 2025. I'll give you the link in chat for playing the puzzle with me or sharing with your friends later. And let's go on over to the puzzle now. As I have been doing with most of these puzzles for the past, 7 or so of these that I've done, I'm not going to actually look for the words in the puzzle. I'm gonna go and look at the listing as it was posted during May 2025 to talk a little bit about the game that's being highlighted through its title in the word search. And then if by the time I come back, somebody in chat has given me a hint of where the title is, I'll take their hint. And if they haven't given me a hint, I'll use the hint that the system offers. Hello, Robert. Thanks for joining me. I'll put the link back up just for good measure, and let's go on into the puzzle. So, action retrieval, ice mage torture. This would be why. This is a pretty dense grid of letters. Let's see if it's more kind to me than the last time I was highlighting letters, and it if anything was diagonal and the mouse wasn't really holding the line. So we'll see if it works better this week than it did the last time I did one of these. This game was made by Zachary Morris, and you can see here that I've been called out by name as the person who needed a bingo spot filled for the action retrieval mechanic. So Zach made up something on the spot in May at the end on Sunday so that I could play it and fill it out. So we do those kind of things. I just made up this game, and it might not be fun. Those things happen all the time at Protospiel Online. And actually, I'm not going to ask for a hint because since this is super long, I sort of know that it's going to have to start at a corner because that's the only way it would fit in the grid. So yeah, it's giving me the same trouble that it was giving me last time. Okay. It's a little choppy. I don't know if it's my computer or the tool or what, but it doesn't respond immediately to me when I am clicking on it. But we'll move on to exactly technology. Can't live with or without it. Let me move on to the next title, which is adulting in the slides. This one's from Eric Dittmore, and it has been featured in a lot of our puzzles over the last year or so because adulting's been coming back and getting more testing several sessions in a row. And this one is going to be at the Indie Game Night Market in November at PAX U. So that's exciting. And it's gone through a lot of iterations to be where it is now. At this point, it's a multi-victor game. As it was in May, it's described as a crunchy, cozy card game about mundane challenges of living well. Build a routine of healthy habits, manage stress, and make sure you do your fair share of the chores. This one is one that I've play tested in its like pretty finished state relatively recently, as it's been getting ready to go to the Indie Game Night Market. So it captures, I feel, the theme of adulting well with things like, take a nap, that give you a little bit more you can do if you do things like that. Some self-care type things. And then, very relatable chores like take out the trash and such. All right, I don't see a hint, so I'll ask for one from the tool. There it is. Kindluda. Sounds kind of like a German word. Apple Orchard is made by Kristen Lund, and it's a brain burny trick taking, but not really card game with a spatial puzzle element. This one I have also played, not at Protospiel Online recently. I think it's been being brought to the event for and under development for a long time, off and on. But the most recent time I played this was with just actually so happens a playtest swap with Eric, where it so happens I played this game and Adulting. That's a funny coincidence in the same session because those two wanted to see each other's games and I joined them. And it's kind of a tableau building it is a trick taking game in that you each play a card to the center and then you assess who won or lost, who had and there's the suit led with is the one that's gonna win ties and stuff, but as you go down to lower cards, the cards also have a power on them, so you choose your rank of getting to select a card that was played into the trick, and also some like a kind of a side market that you can choose to play from too. And sometimes you have opportunities to take things out or swap things from that area. And then you're building a cache sort of, it's called the compost in that game. And your score is going to be the number of cards of that type of apple tree in the compost times your the number of that kind of card you have played into your 9x9 grid by the end. So it's got a pretty big twist to trick taking. I guess maybe the but not really is that trick taking is basically the mechanism used to draft your cards that you will play into your tableau, and it's really like a tableau building card game. Okay, I don't see any hints, so I will ask for one from the tool. Okay, we got through that one without incident. That's great news. Let's go on to Cake or Pie. This one was from Roberto Panetta, and I did play this one in May. But yeah, there's a shifting demand, it says. I'm trying to remember how I would describe it. I mean, I think you're on Team Cake or Team Pie. And so you're trying to, I think you might be given a goal card at the beginning telling you, don't quote me, but I think you're told whether you're on Team Pie or Cake, and you're trying to draft cards or like win cards of Cake or Pie, depending on what your goals are. And other people can affect the value of those cards, I think. Yeah, why not both? I think I'm trying to remember if you actually got like negative points if you collected pie when you were on Team Cake or vice versa, something like that. I think what I remember most about the game is just the very delicious looking art. It did have the art already applied, which can be fun when it's possible for a designer to provide that. It can be fun to have. I'm not sure, though, I wouldn't say it was necessarily the final art. I don't remember having a conversation about where it came from or what specifically. Oops, wait. I gotta find it before I go back. I'll ask for a hint. There we go. Cove, I remember this one too. This is another one I got to play test. It is like Coup. I don't think it's, yeah, Coup meets worker placement in this pirate theme take that deduction game. Yeah, there were lots of different like locations around the cove that you could go, and different abilities. Like in Coup is a game where you have two cards in your hand and you say, I am this or that, and this or that has an action that it's allowed to take. So you say, I'm this or that, and then you take the action, and people can call your bluff if you don't actually have the card of that that character. Then you don't get to take the action and you get a penalty. Cove is a lot like that, but with different characters, and you go to a place on the map and certain characters have abilities at that place. So there's another, like, as is described, worker placement, adding to it based on choosing a spot to go to. I can't remember if you were not allowed to be at the same spot as somebody else. Oh yeah, Robert, you did play this one with me. I remember that. You were in the same playtest as me. A food game where all the art was just photos of food. Yeah, I mean, food photography is a whole discipline, I think. Or yeah, it's a whole art form. Sometimes I think they photograph food for restaurants and such, and it's not even real. It's been shellacked or something like that to make it photograph better. You remember there were a limited number of spots per location. Yeah, that detail is slipping my mind, but I will take your word for it. Let me go back and see if I can find Cove. There it is. A tiny one in a sea of letters. Oh goodness. Yeah, I'm having that loss problem again. There we go. Okay. Florist in Florence. This is one I have not played myself. I think this is the first one. That's interesting. Yeah, I've played all of them. I don't know if I played all of them at the May event, but some of them are recurring that I've had multiple opportunities to play at different events, at different Protospiel Online weekends. Be a florist in Florence. Build beautiful flower arrangements matching customer needs to get the most value. Keep things symmetric for additional value. Compete to be the best flower arranger around. Interesting. Multiplayer. MP stands for multiplayer solitaire, I believe. Competing resources. This sounds like a kind of game I would really enjoy. I like spatial arrangement puzzles. So, and I like flowers a lot. So hopefully they'll bring it back and I'll get a chance to play it again someday. And let me get the hint for that one. Oh my goodness. The longer of a word it is. Okay. I think I need to not. If I just shoot as directly for it without pausing. Oh, I'm pretty sure that's right. Oh, one more letter. There. Got it. This is now a dexterity game, playing this word search. Guilds and Gambits was by Dewey Duong. And it's a creature battling deck builder inspired by collectible card games and auto battlers. I think auto battler would mean like something like challengers, where you choose which cards you're going to put in your deck and then you just kind of flip them one at a time and they result in what they result in. Your rival guilds recruiting epic members to battle it out in a series of fast-paced rounds of play to earn glory. Cool. Looking for feedback about different abilities and the game economy in the starting deck. Sounds like all good questions to ask when you have a game like that. Let me get the hint. There we go. Hatter Convention. by Nathan Masters. Dice Poker at a Mad Hatter Tea Convention. This one I haven't tried yet. This was an early playtest in May. Need to observe sticking points in the core loop to determine what is too complex and what should be turn-based or slash simultaneous. I think it might be missing just a space there. This one is looking for a publisher. Plays 3 to 4. Need at least 3 players. I'm getting a notification that I'm losing chat. Give me just a second. Well, I'm going to keep an eye on you in... okay, I think it might have reconnected. I don't see the error anymore. Yes, I can see you. And I also have Twitch. I'm looking in my streaming studio, but that's what said it lost the chat connection, the streaming studio. But I also have the Twitch tab kind of open, so I can keep an eye on it. I can see that if the chat is moving there too. But I think we're all set again. Okay. I think we've finished reviewing Hatter Convention, so I will hint. Yeah, I kind of want to play on word for Hatter Convention, like a convention like a rule instead of just a gathering. Like if convention was like a mechanic name or something, that could be kind of funny. Okay, Hench is one I remember seeing a lot, but I have not gotten a chance to play it myself. This one is by Edward Damon, and it's a co-opetitive Saturday morning cartoon minions seek to become the boss's favorite by completing missions and backstabbing one another. 3 to 5 player game that's looking for a publisher. And looking for a way to force more positive player interaction. Wonder how it went. We don't get to, that's one thing, we don't see the designer notes on the other end of the posts. Get a hint. There we go. Saved it. Okay, Hex Shot is the next one is from Jamie Sabriel. It's a high fantasy high noon showdown of 6 shooting sorcerers. That's a mouthful. Very clever. Each player grabs an 18-card deck representing a different discipline of spellcasting and duels for glory with cards that can be used 6 different ways. That sounds very efficient use of card space. This one I have not gotten to play. Mystic is one that I got to play test that was sort of not exactly the same, because this one looks like it has lots of different decks that you can play, and Mystic is just a very few cards, but the different zones of the cards and how you use the cards make for a lot of strategy opportunities. It's kind of shocking for the small number of cards that's in that game. So this, I'm betting you, takes some inspiration from that game. Let's see where this one is. There it is. There's a couple of HE. E's next to that H. There we go. Next is I built a zoo. This one is a set collection and spatial puzzle game with animals, their locations, biomes, and traits. Looking for remove some color coding to simplify the visual. Is it still clear what groups you have in your zoo without those extra markers? The trait exhibit is relatively new, so looking for feedback on that element and always looking for general feedback. This one is it's been a longer time ago that I've played this one than the other one from Kirsten that came up earlier. But I remember it as being a tile placement game, a competitive game. But again, yeah, spatial puzzle, my kind of thing. Okay. Oh, yeah, there it is. That's interesting. Was I looking at the wrong eye? Or I don't know. Huh. I kept thinking the only bee I saw was directly above the eye I was looking at. I feel like maybe I was my eye got mixed up there. But I found it. One Man's Trash. From Colebrook Jackson. This one, you see, it has a future planned start time where I believe all the previous ones that I've shown a screenshot for had ASAP start times. That's the more common way for people to play test at Protospiel Online, but people can, for various reasons, ask for a time a little bit in the future so they can be maybe play testing somebody else's game and then be all ready to jump right into their own, or help something that is a heavier game and a bigger ask, maybe gather playtesters instead of them waiting in looking for a game. That's what that feature is. Trying a single round to test some changes to mechanics and gameplay consequences with simpler rules and shorter playtime. And also, yeah, an example of you still got to play test it, even if you just play the first round's worth and not the whole game. And if you have a bigger game, sometimes that would take several hours to completely finish, that kind of thing. If you are able to test without needing to see how the scoring conditions turn out at the end, that can be a helpful way to get more different people to see your game at a Protospiel event. There we go. First try. I feel like I should get extra points every time that happens now. Secret Secrets is by Eric Ditmore. Collect secrets about others and use them to raise your reputation, but make sure to keep your own secret safe or someone might steal your crown. This is inspired by Pax Penning. That's interesting. Pax Penning is a very, very different kind of theme. Things on the levels of nations instead of the schoolyard. This one may be self-published, but also looking for a publisher. 3 to 6 people can play, so it's possibly a larger player count game. Let's get a hint. There we go. Soccer 54 Premiere. Secret Secrets I haven't gotten a chance to play test ever, but I've heard Eric talking about it around. Soccer 54 Premiere. This is a variant of the free print and play Soccer 54. Soccer 54 being a game that you can play with a regular deck of playing cards, but you play it as you lay the cards out sort of like they're on a soccer field and contest, and the ball is passing through contest people from, or players from both teams contesting it. But this premiere is like a more of a tutorial, I believe, for playing the larger game. I think, or premiere. I don't know. I also have seen Greg say shootout, Soccer 54 shootout, which is maybe what he calls the tutorial of the more full game. But Premier, I think, refers to, I'm not a big soccer person, but I believe there's like a Premier League or a Premier concept specific to soccer. So he says, I've added 18 cards to reduce the luck, snowball effects, and lack of agency that were seen when it was tested in January 2025 at Protospell Online. So that's an example of somebody getting feedback and then iterating upon the game based on the feedback and then bringing it back to the same community to see what they say, if the problems were fixed. This one is self-publishing and or looking for a publisher, and it's an exactly 2-player game. And this one, of course, I have to, you wouldn't want to put letters, or I mean, numerals in a word search. So we spell out those words. Okay. I see it. Oh, okay. Almost got it. All right. 2 more. Social Calculus is by Grant Van Nostrand, and this is a circular tile card placement. Make guests happy by seating like-minded guests together. Looking for tighter, shortened gameplay and how to reduce friction. I know that the screenshot that is, or kind of the title presentation or whatever, when this is put on the listing on the website, is it looks like wedding planning tables with circles and the cards placed around the outer edges. Kind of a starburst pattern. And social calculus. Oh, so close. And it's funny, the color changes every time, too. Okay, last one, Speakeasy Haiku, which I don't think I played in May with Peter, but I think I played it in August, more recently than that. In Speakeasy Haiku, players write haiku while being forced to use a secret word. Then players recite their haiku and try to guess other people's secret words. He's looking for feedback on the timer length and changing how the timer works for the game because past versions felt too short. And this one I did get to play recently, and it's a very chill kind of feeling game where the creativity and presenting something to the group is, there's like some tricky strategy that you can put in so it doesn't feel only like being asked to write poetry. It feels a little bit more gamified than that because of that secret word that you're hiding. And giving plenty of time to kind of sit and write poetry. Like you might even write something that you think is really actually interesting to share or read, or that conveys some inner thought or opinion or something like that. So I had a good time playing that one. Okay. Okay. SV. Let me get my eye on the end so I can be aiming directly for it. Okay, that U right there. Right there. There we go. I got the confetti. It's official. The haiku game sounds up your alley, Robert. Oops, I lost your comment there. Yeah. It's Yeah, it's a little improv-y, but not quite as, it's done on the page, and Peter figured out a cool way to it's actually played in a Google spreadsheet. There's no, um, virtual tabletop or anything, it's just in a spreadsheet, and people have their different sections of the spreadsheet where they're writing their haiku, and I think he set it up so it'll kind of, um yeah, I feel like there are, like, 2 images that you're also shown to help inspire, um, what you might write, and it's sort of a generic symbol that could be a few different things, and it's not really defined. I feel like I remember seeing these little pictures when I was playing it, but I can't remember how they tie into the writing of the haiku. I think they're meant to help inspire a direction, and you can pick one or the other, and everybody sees two. Yeah, you like creative games like that. Yeah, and it's also like ties are completely allowed, so it qualifies as multi-victor. It's more of a today I was listening into a Dialogues at Dusk conversation about multi-victor games, and some of them are kind of more negotiation games where the way you affect other players is highlighted more than in some games that would just be straight up competitive, since in the real world it often isn't that you win and everyone else loses. Usually it's that some of like when people band together, some of them win to varying degrees and stuff like that. There's multi-victor games like that, and then there's also the kind of party vibe feeling games that can tend to be multi-victor, and this speakeasy haiku, I would say, fits into that category. All right, well, before I tell you goodbye, I'll just remind one more time that we have a free community section of our Discord server that you can go to join. While we're not open for badge registration quite yet, for our next session will be in January, and more prototypes will come for me to make more puzzles about, and to get primarily to get lots of feedback from our community. So, but in the meantime, if you want to start getting familiar with the Discord, you can join for free at that link that I just shared in the chat. And I will see you next week's Minigame Monday. I hope you have an excellent week. Bye for now.